my name's Jordan. Hi, hello. It's great to be out, to be vaccinated. Yes. Anyone not? Get him. I got vaxxed, you please know. I got AstraZeneca, which was cool. I was hoping it would kill me, but unfortunately it worked. No, I like it. Did anyone under 40 get AZ, AstraZeneca? Yeah. Huge. Heroes. We did it. We really put our bodies on the line, you know? We said, I'd rather die of a blood clot than never go to the pub again. I stand by that. But it was like, a lot of my friends were kind of like, you know, like waiting for Pfizer, waiting for Godot. He's never going to come, babe. And I'd be like, why do you want to get Pfizer? And their responses were always just like, I want it. It seems like the good one. But I didn't mind AstraZeneca because, you know, like, looking at the two options, I was like, she's kind of like, AstraZeneca's kind of like the Dannii Minogue, you know? Like, she's really good. And she'll do the job. But imagine if it was Kylie. That'd be great. But the best Minogue is the Minogue available to you, so just take what you can get. I had a lot of phone calls with my parents over the last couple years. I do love them. I love a phone call from my parents. More from my dad. My parents kind of flipped the script a little bit. My mum is very like cold, stoic, very rusted on 90s Labour vibes. Like, I know she's pissed when she tells me she loves me. And I know she'll never love me as much as Keating saying, I'll do you slowly. But my dad is like very over-emotional, very needy, calls me all the time, loves to have a chat. And one day he called me and he was like, kind of shaken a little bit. And I was like, oh my God, Dad, what's wrong? And he was like, I just found out that Eric Clapton is anti-vax. And I was like, oh my God, Craig, what are you going to do? And he was like, I've already done it. I tweeted him. And he did. He tweeted him, he said, enough of that, mate. Been a fan for years, you've lost me. Which is, you know, huge for him and his 2 followers that are me and the company he works for. Then he kind of went on and he was like, I'm not sleeping. I'm thinking about mortality all the time. Like, I'm thinking about mortality for the first time. And I was like, for the first time? You're like 54 years old and you've never thought about mortality before? Must be nice. You clearly never existed as a 14-year-old girl, you know? Like, my year 8 diary seamlessly transitions from a very detailed description of a handjob that I never gave into my funeral plan. And, like, not because I wanted to die, just because I was obsessed with myself. And I found out recently that whatever you wrote down, like, most recently, unless it's been updated, it is technically your last will and testament. So, like, as we are here tonight, if I die, you're all invited to my funeral, of course, and you will have to stand for the duration of Seasons of Love from the musical Rent. And then I will be carried out in a biodegradable bag, eco girl, not like other girls, I'm dead. I'll be carried out by the 4 hottest boys in year 8. They all work in finance now, so they can carry me. And my dad was like really upset. He was like, I can't believe that you've been thinking about like your own death for that long, like, as a child. And I was like, yeah, Dad, I've been thinking about who's gonna murder me for the last like 17 years. Not when or if, but who. And I like to think that, like, if it was a dude, I'd probably, like, you know, put up a fight, get my nails in there. But if it was a woman or a queer, I'd probably be like, good for you. You've been working on your assertiveness. This is great. See ya. Do you know what? Statistically, Dad, it'll probably be you. He doesn't call me for comfort anymore. But to be fair to Dad, to the Craigan, it's, you know, it is weird that we're kind of walking around like ready to be attacked all the time. And I kind of like, I had a pretty lush, nice like childhood, but it did seep into my education a little bit. Like, I went to a pretty fancy school. I was on a scholarship, one of the people. But it was one of those schools where we had something called Civics Week, where we learned about the concept of poor people. And then a girl asked if renting was a form of homelessness. She's a real estate agent now, so probably still wondering. But as part of that, I got to go to this like really cool boarding school for an exchange, and it was a super conservative Christian boarding school that was obsessed with modesty. And a lot of it went over my head, but there were a few clues as to what like we were kind of dealing with. The first was when a girl got expelled for wearing skinny jeans. I was like, I mean, they're ugly, but that seems like a lot. And then the second was when all the girls got called into an emergency meeting, and it was just the girls, and one of the female teachers told us, we were all like 16, 17 years old, and she said that we weren't allowed to wear our hair down anymore because it was too distracting for the male teachers. I know. To which I think, like, wouldn't ponytails make it easier for them to catch us? You know, like predators are like orca whales. You can't be like mincing around them with a ponytail. They'll get you. So you had to be very careful. And then like even in like cereal ads as well. Like growing up, those cereal ads that we had, like they were very like weirdly gendered too. Like the boys had Nutrigrain and it was always like, yes, smash, run, get that hill, boy. Yum yums. And then we got Special K, which was always like, can you still fit in those jeans, you ugly bitch? Try not to exist. Like, maybe that's why I'm like eagerly waiting for death, Dad. Anyway, that's been me. Have a good night. See you later.